My mother added some kind of design to everything in the household. Our sheets had designs on the edge and at the top and on the ends and the sides, and hearts and birds and all kinds of things on the sheets. The pillowcases were much the same. All the ends of the pillowcases had something sewed on them, whether it was a ruffle or whether it was some different strips of lace or whether it was some kind of crocheted edging that she put on them. Another kind of beautiful crochet. And look at this beauty at the end of the pillowcase. These are all pillowcases. And then look at this one. Everything had a trim. My mother was the queen of rickrack. I had rickrack on my dresses almost always. You know, she'd make me a little insert like this, and it would be rickrack right around here. I have several quilts that were family quilts that, you know, my grandmother and her buddies worked on, because what they would do is they would come to each other's houses, or they would have the quilting thing at the church. And so they would work on my quilt, everyone would work on my quilt until it was finished and bring fabric and sew on it. In terms of this dress that my mother made me, it was kind of, you know, it was the performance at Kennedy Center. It was the ultimate final accomplishment to make a dress of this caliber so perfect. The interesting thing is I have my mother's wedding dress. Now, she had a slip type thing underneath this wedding dress, so it wasn't so see-through, but you know, look how stylish this is for getting married in the 30s. Is that pretty doodah or what? My mother was a real fashion hound. I have pictures of her. This is a piece of art I just completed. I did it on Mylar, and I did a copy of my baby dress. Now, I will maybe show you later, but I have about 14 similar but different that my mother made, that my grandmother made, that friends made for me. My mother was so happy to have a girl. She had a boy, and she had a terrible pregnancy, so she said, I'm not doing that again, but she really wanted a little girl. And so they, you know, used to take x-rays, and they took an x-ray and they put the x-ray up and they said, big baby, arms out, it's a boy. Arms out, big, it's another boy. So my mother was content to have another boy, no little girl in her life. And so on my birthday, for all my life until my mother died, I would get a phone call on my birthday, and I would hear the same thing. She would say, 30 years ago, 32, whatever it was, you know, I was so happy when you were born, and he told me you were a girl. I'll get emotional about this. Because that's what I wanted, and I said at that time, thank you, God, I will never ask for anything else. And I grew up in a household where I felt very special and very loved, and very secure, unconditional love in its highest form. And that story every year reinforced that truth.